My next guest is an Olympic gold medalist, a WBO heavyweight champion, and he's fought everyone in the 90s, from Tim Witherspoon, Evander Holyfield, to Lennox Lewis. I want to ask him about his career and what he's doing now that he's out of boxing. He was nice enough to join us. Ladies and gentlemen, Merciless Ray Mercer.
Coming up next on the Zapata Brand podcast, he's an Olympic gold medalist. He's a former WBO world champion. He has fought the likes of Tim Witherspoon, Lennox Lewis, and Evander Holyfield. And he has arguably the most vicious knockout in boxing history. The Zapata Brand welcomes Merciless Ray Mercer.
So, Ray Mercer, you don't remember, but I do remember you from a while ago as an amateur. I met you, believe it or not. We have a little bit of a history, and you don't even know it.
Oh, yeah. It's good then. Got to be good.
Well, I met you. I was fighting in the Golden Glove, and you showed up. It was right after you knocked out Morrison. You came to the Golden Glove in New Jersey, and you were sitting front row with Charles the Natural Murray, and I believe Livingstone Bramble. I'm not sure, but I know it was Charles Murray.
Okay.
And you were fighting at a triple threat at the time, and you bet on me. You said you were saying I would win, and Charles Murray bet on the other guy in the red corner. And by the way, you won.
Yeah, there you go.
You won that bet.
Yeah, I did.
But Ray, you're one of my favorite boxers, and it is an honor to have you on my show. It really is.
It's a pleasure being here, man.
And I really, the 90s boxing heavyweights was incredible. It was an incredible era. And you came into boxing unnatural, meaning you weren't just a guy who came off the street who just went into boxing. You had a different path to boxing. You could tell my audience, well, how did you get into boxing?
Well, I was I joined the Army in 1980, and 3 years after that, what happened is I was stationed at Fort Campbell, Kentucky, my first 2 years, and I got stationed I got stationed over in Germany, and I was in the motor pool, and I was kind of big, walking around talking noise, and I just so happens that the post champ heavyweight was in our unit, and so was the coach. So I used to talk so much trash. He just asked me if I would be a sparring partner, and I told him when we get out of the field, I would. And he said, if you say yes, then you won't have to go to the field. And that was like a 30-day field problem out there in the snow and everything. And so I told him yeah. So, and I didn't go to the field, but I forgot one thing, and that I really didn't know how to box.
Okay.
I didn't know how to box, so I got my butt whooped for about a month and a half, and then I finally asked him to show me how to defend myself, and I went 13 fights without losing that year. That was my first year. I went all the way to the highest that you can go over in Europe, and I came in second.
Okay. So once you went there, when did you decide that you're going to go make it further? Go further?
Well, when I that first time the first time I got into a sport like that, other than in the high school football, and I really loved it, man, and I was really into it. So, I fought to make the team, and to do the training and everything, and I had my platoon sergeants, and me being in the Army, my company commander, they all. Without them, I wouldn't be here now, man, because they stuck up for me, and I put us in the paper every week. We was in the paper for me winning and all that stuff. So that was it, man. Once that started happening, hey, I was hooked. But I really didn't think I would make it to, on that level of gold medal and everything. I had to work toward that, but I really worked hard toward it, and dreams do come true, man. That one came true.
You won the Olympic gold medal. Did you have to do more military time after you won the medal?
Well, I could have, but I chose to get out and turn pro. I never thought about being a pro or anything, even when I was an amateur, really. But you know, after the gold, I think that was the best thing for me to do. You know, because I was already hooked in the boxing. I wasn't ready to quit, so I just kept going. But winning the gold medal was the highlight of my boxing. I mean, you know, I was WBO heavyweight champion of the world, but I didn't get it. I didn't get the satisfaction out of being the heavyweight champion of the world as I got being a gold medalist. If you can understand that.
Yeah, I mean, being in the military,
Yeah.
I would imagine that would be a big thing.
Yeah,
So
big thing.
you rattled off right away, and I remember watching or opening KO magazine and seeing your center, and you were 18-0 or 17-0. You were just got out to a nice run there. I remember seeing that,
Yeah.
but you really didn't get much press. You were kind of one of these fighters who didn't have a big mouth, but you got the job done. You had a great jab, and you were very technical. What I didn't know was when you fought Tommy Morrison, your chin, how big your chin was. And that was really your first big fight, other than Francisco Damiani, which you knocked out. You were getting beat in that fight, but you knocked him out with a vicious uppercut.
Yeah, I was losing every round.
What's that?
I was losing every round against Francisco Damiani, every
Yeah.
one.
And then, but you came out with a vicious uppercut, broke his nose, down he goes. You win the WBO title.
Yeah.
At that point, you were 18-0, getting ready, or 17-0, getting ready to fight Tommy Morrison. Because that was your first fight. The WBO title, you know, we're kind of fast forwarding up to where you got into, you know, being champion. When you were going to fight Tommy was hyped up pretty high, which I'm going to be honest, I didn't know how well you would do. I said, man, this guy Tommy Morrison's not going to hit everybody. Mercer he's 30 years old. And at that time, 30 seemed like ancient.
Yeah.
But you were 30, but only had 18 fights and not many years. Your amateur career wasn't 100 fights that you were taking the pounding. You were still relatively young, or young 30 years old.
Yeah.
So when you sign on to fight Morrison, was that personal?
It got personal, you know, halfway through training when you know, my trainer told me that I'm the WBO heavyweight champ, but I'm only getting 50,000 more than Tommy Morrison. And you know, I really couldn't believe it. So then, you know, he told me I can call Bob Arum and ask him why. So I did. I called Bob Arum and I asked Bob, I said, if I'm WBO heavyweight champ, why am I only getting 50,000 more than Tommy Morrison? And he told me because he's white. And that's when it sort of got a little personal then, you know. But I mean, you know, I'm not no prejudice guy, nothing like that. I'm military, man. I love everybody. People are people to me. So, you know, it wasn't racist or anything like that. It was just, you know, the money thing.
Right.
So
And
you know, it's the first time I ever told somebody that. You know, it was all.
And that would bother me too if I was a heavyweight champion. Now, what I will say is, I heard that you had a bodyguard, Eclipse. His name was Eclipse. Am I correct?
No, his name was Wilson, O.D. Wilson.
But I think his nickname, they called him Eclipse for some reason. He's a gigantic guy.
Oh yeah, 450 pounds.
Okay. Now, was he the one who gave you the inside on Tommy Morrison alleged steroid use?
We was at Times Square in New York doing the weigh-ins outside. And he was with me, my bodyguard was with me, O.D. Wilson, he was with me, and we had to take our shirts off. So he seen Tommy Morrison's back, and he seen a whole lot of blackheads or whatnot. He said that comes from oil-based steroids. He told me all I have to do was to make him work for 5 rounds, and he will be tired. And so 2 days before the fight, man, I changed up, and I listened to him. And we got in there, and he started willing at me, and he got tired. He actually got tired after 3. I was giving him 5, but then, you know, after that, yeah, we went to work, man. So my trainers was going crazy. You can imagine they was going crazy because we did all this training, and telling me do this and do that, and I get in there and just cover up, and you know, just take all these guys' punches and all that. So they didn't know what was going on, so it was sort of weird for them. So I'm just glad I got the knockout.
Yeah, and that fight, going into that fight, what mentally, you're going in against a guy. Did you think you could punch as hard as he punched?
Not really, but I didn't think he punched that hard, but I mean, I fought fighters like big guys like harder than that hit harder than him.
Who was that? I'm sorry. Who was that?
Lenn Lewis.
Okay.
Lenn Lewis, Burt Cooper, a lot of them, man, out
Really?
there. Yeah, really, man. They hit, but Tommy Morrison, he hit. I just, I ain't see everything coming, but they usually, that's usually where I would tell people that's where the tough chin, because my trainers just always tell me that the punches that hurt you are the ones that you don't see.
Right.
But I seen all his coming except for a couple of them. So,
Okay.
I know I got a chin, man. I never really worked on that or concentrated on that or told myself that. I just went there and just try to win the fights. That's what I did. Try to put pressure on, a lot of people. And that's what I did.
Yeah. Take me back to the third round. Or it was actually the fourth. Excuse me, the fourth round. You hit him at the end of the round. You kind of shook him a little bit, but he looked definitely tired. Going back to that round, at the end of that round, did you know that this was the round you're going to go put the pressure on and get him out of it?
Yes, I knew that when I hit him with the two right hands, and I knew he was ready. I knew he was ready when I hit him with that right there. So I just went to work. I hit him with a right hand, two right hands, and then I came back with the hook, and that was it. That was it. He showed that he was ready to go then.
Yeah, the one right the other way was the one that really kind of. I mean, look, he was out before, but that other right hook was the one that kind of put him out at that point. He was not getting up.
Yeah.
So when you win that fight, you're on the ultimate high. You're already WBO champion. You're expecting to get big fights. You signed to fight Larry Holmes. You signed to fight Larry Holmes next.
Yeah.
What was the difference in that fight? That fight was a little bit of a disappointing fight, I think.
Well, the thing about that fight is I was supposed to fight Michael Moore, but you know what? I don't know what my problem was, but I just didn't want to fight a southpaw because I knew fighting southpaws was kind of tough, and and Larry Holmes was my idol, man. I was like, would I rather fight Michael Moore or Larry Holmes, my idol? So, I gave up the belt for that. I didn't know they were going to take the belt, but they took it, man. But I really wanted to fight Larry Holmes. And then I get in there and, halfway through my training, everybody's telling me all the way up to halfway through my training, is telling me don't take the guy for granted. He's an old guy, but he can still fight and everything. So I was training hard and everything. And then about 2 weeks before the fight, everybody starts saying, well, this guy, he's an old guy. He's not supposed to last 3 rounds. So my trainer's night went back a little bit, and that really messed me up a little bit, because after 3 rounds, he was still standing there,
Right.
And, that would just get to your head, and then Larry was leaning over. He was talking to his wife, holding the ropes and everything. I just got psyched out that fight. But I'm glad I had that fight because I was glad to fight Larry Holmes. I can always say that.
And I think you learned from that fight, especially learned how to handle someone with a jab. Because it helped you in your Lennox Lewis fight.
Yeah.
When you fought Lewis, there's a guy who can jab. Now I've seen Lewis work in front of me. Mm-hmm. That is a very big guy. He's very fast. So that fight itself was tough for you, but I thought you won that fight, to be honest with you. Was there ever a time after that fight, that would have been the opener, did you ever think of fighting Mike Tyson?
Ask me again.
Okay, so after the Lewis fight, your stock actually went up. Was there a time where you thought about fighting Mike Tyson right after that? That would have been the time to fight him.
Yes, I had I think we went to Stockholm, Sweden, and Mike Tyson was supposed to fight over there. So he was over there when I was over there, and I fought over there. And then I had fought this big guy, and the guy came in, he's over 300 pounds, and he hit me and he clipped me a little bit. My leg shook just a little bit. And I think Mike Tyson seen that. So before we got on the plane the next day, he got my managers and told him, yo, we're going to get you a contract. Don't sign the fight with anybody else and everything. So they sent us the contract. But he didn't sign it. So I signed it and sent back, and the next thing you know, they're telling me that Lenn Lewis is taking him to court to fight. So that's how I didn't get to fight Mike Tyson, man. But they was building me to fight Mike Tyson, man. I think it would have been a great fight.
Okay, now would you? Oh, sorry. So after you fight, after you fight Lewis and you go through there, was Lennox Lewis the best fighter?
Yeah, I think Lenn Lewis, I think, is one of the most skillful fighters. You know, he had the best trainer and everything. I think he was the best. He's one of the best guys I fought.
How about Evander Holyfield?
Well, Holyfield, his Holyfield speaks for itself. I mean, he's a tough dude, and he done fought everybody. I thought I had him like the first 7 rounds. Then, like I said, he hit me with something that I didn't see. It didn't hurt me, but I just took a knee because that's what they used to teach us in the Army. Because the punch there to hurt you, the ones you don't see. So if you're hurt, you can't see him, and you're gonna get hurt. So I just took a knee, and then I started moving backwards after that. And I started letting him be the aggressor, and I think that's when I lost that fight.
Mm-hmm.
But he's a great fighter.
What was the biggest difference between Lewis and Holyfield?
Speed. I think it was speed. Holyfield a lot faster. But Lenn Lewis got the power with his punches. I mean, Holyfield hits hard too, but he don't hit as hard as Lenn Lewis.
Was there any time that you got dropped that you were actually legitimately hurt?
Excuse me?
Was there any time where you got dropped or you legitimately got hurt?
No.
None. Even when Klitschko hit you?
Well, I'm gonna tell you one time with Gladimir Klko. I gotta take that back. Gladimir Klko, man. Whole different game right there.
Now that guy hitting you is more like a coming down.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He's the first one to put me on my foot.
Yeah, he was the first one to put you down from a headshot.
Yeah.
Little, and then you went down. And I thought, oh boy, that wasn't
my butt. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe I was on my butt. I was like, what?
Yeah, no, you were shocked.
Yeah, the training. I should have trained harder for him, man. Because I was up in New Jersey, Atlantic City, and I was fishing in the morning. After I run or whatever. So I went fishing once before I ran, man, and I caught some big fish, and I just fell in love with fishing. So I wasn't really running like I was supposed to, training like I was supposed to for Klitschko. I mean, I'm telling you, he's a tough dude. I'm telling you. But I'm gonna tell you, if I'd have trained a little more and known, how big he was, because I didn't know how big he was or anything. We didn't watch no tapes or anything. So I was shocked when he first hit me with that. I think it was a jab or something, and I went on my butt.
It was a left hook.
Yeah, the left hook. He kept hitting me with that thing too. Hit me with that. That's one thing that he kept catching me with, is that hook. I just couldn't get past that.
And he wasn't known for his left hook. It was just it was happening nowhere.
Yeah, he just found the right spot on my chin, man. I don't know, but he found it.
Yeah, it was a good job.
Yeah.
Now, one of my good friends is Tim Witherspoon. And how was it fighting Tim?
Well, how was the fight with Tim?
Yeah, he's a good friend of mine. He wanted me to ask you. First of all, he wanted to say hello. But he said that was one of his toughest fights.
Yeah, Tim, man, he was a tough dude, man. I always tell him that, I thought he won that fight.
He
I don't know why. Yeah, I always tell him that he won that fight, man, and I really did think that he's gonna win that fight. And when they gave it to me, I was like, hey, I'll take it. So Tim was a tough fight. He's old school. He's the nicest guy. Yeah, he's the nicest guy in the world too.
Oh, he's a great guy. Tim's a great guy.
Yeah, he is.
I speak to him frequently. He's doing well. He's doing well now. So
yeah, that's good.
You're winding down your career. Why transition to MMA? Because you won your last fight.
Yeah, I did MMA because, for one thing, I liked it when it first came out, and I'm sitting here watching with my son, and he's calling this, these guys beast and all that, So I wanted him to say that about me, so I wanted to do that one time, and so he'll see it. And I did it, and Kimbo was my first one. I actually didn't train MMA with him. I trained boxing, but once he took me down and got choke on me, I just said, hey, I'm just tapping out. But you know, it was good. I got to train MMA and all that, and that is a really tough sport. I'd rather be doing boxing anytime. I think boxing is an art. MMA is like wrestling and street fighting. I mean, anybody can do MMA. I mean, it's like fighting in the street. I don't say anybody can do it,
Right.
but it's a street fight. That's mainly what it is. You can't get out your eyes and you can't hit them in the ball, and that's about it.
So you actually knocked out UFC heavyweight champ.
Tim Sylvia.
Yeah, you actually knocked him out.
That was my last fight, man. That was my last
That was
fight.
your last fight.
That was my last fight.
How did that come about?
Well, they just came and made an offer. Tim Sylvia said he can box, he can knock me out and all that stuff. And his trainer was talking, and hey, I had my manager Matt Howard. He hooked the fight up. Him and Rod Riccardi, and we fought in Alabama. And you know, they was telling me if I get in there and just tap out, then I'm not gonna get paid. I don't know where that I was gonna get there and tap out from, but you know what I'm saying. I got in there and I actually was ready to go to the floor with him. As you can see, when I hit him, I didn't know that he was really knocked out. I went straight for his legs because I knew I was gonna be on the ground, but I hit him good and he was out. And I jumped up and hit him with a hammer fist.
Yep.
Right in the face and tried to hit him again, and the referee pushed me off, and I was a winner, man. I was happy.
Yeah, and that was your last fight?
Yeah, that was my last fight. I think that was in what was it, 09. I think I was 48 or 49 years old, something like that.
So after you wrap that up, where do you go from there? Do you just go back to the military? You do service or no?
You say I could? No, I didn't go back to the military.
You did not?
No, I did not. I stayed out. I just retired from boxing, and
that was it?
That was it for the military. And then, you know, for me, a lot of these guys out here that wasn't in the military, I was in the military, so I got like 100% disability. So I'm getting like almost $4,000 a month for the rest of my life. And some of these other guys are not getting that. So, you know, that's how I can say that I can retire. You know, because my house is paid for, and I ain't got to worry about no money. I don't have a lot of it, but I got money coming in every month.
Now, where do you live now, Florida?
I live in Fayetteville, North Carolina.
Oh, you are in Carolina.
I moved here on Thanksgiving Day, 1991.
Oh, that's good. It's actually a nice area.
Yeah, we raised 4 kids in here and got 2 grandkids.
How many grandkids?
2. I got 5, but I got 2 here.
Oh, geez.
Me and my wife, we have 2 grandkids here.
Oh, good. That's good.
Yeah.
So,
that's good.
What do you think of the state of boxing now? Heavyweight.
Oh man, after seeing, it's not good, man. It's not good. Whether these guys ain't training. I mean, Fury, I thought he's gonna get there and do something, but he ain't trained for that fight because it wasn't a title fight. And Wilder just looks like he never could box anyway, but he has some power, but he didn't even know how to deliver it to this guy. I don't know. I really don't know what's going on. I really don't know. I mean, who's the champ?
Well, Tyson, but you know, I think the amateur scene is struggling now too, which is they don't have anything coming up.
I know they're changing. The USA is changing a lot of rules and stuff, man, and you know they're even talking about taking boxing out of the Olympics. I just can't believe that.
Yeah, I think they are actually going to take it out.
Yeah, I mean that's crazy, man. Because I mean we go from way from when it first started.
Mm-hmm.
I think that'd be hard to do. I'm just glad I came along there my time and I got to go and I got to participate and everything. So I'm just happy I got mine in there. I want everybody else to get theirs too, and I just hope they get it together.
They're gonna try, but you know I think once the Europeans came in, they kind of dominated. Most people now are going to play basketball that are big.
Yeah.
So there's just more money there. It's security.
Yeah.
What are you up to now, Ray? What are you doing nowadays?
Basically, just making appearances, man. I go to appearances to a lot of amateur fights and you know, a lot of Hall of Fame shows and everything, man. And I love going to the amateur fights because that's why I give mine back. I give advice, and I give them a card. I tell them they call me if they got any questions or anything, and believe me, they do call. And that's me giving back. That's how I like to give back.
Yeah. Well, I can tell you that I've always been a very big fan of yours. The 90s heavyweights were incredible. And you were part of my childhood, but still to say, I still look up to you even now. You're happy you are.
Hey, man, I really appreciate you, man. I really do.
And I appreciate you coming on the podcast. In a short period of time, we did get this in. If there's anything you ever need from us, please reach out to us and we can hook up again.
Okay, my man. And if you need me next time, it's free. It's on me.
Call
me anytime.
Hey, we'll get it. What I'd like to do actually is to get you on with Tim at some point.
Okay, yeah, that'd be good. That'd be great. That'd be great.
He's been asking about you to come on. He has a podcast himself. He does his live. So
yeah, I love Tim, man. I love Tim.
Tim's a great guy. He's a great guy. Yeah. And what I'll do, I can hook you guys up too. That we can get on.
Okay, do that. That sounds good.
Yeah, we'll do that. And again,
we can talk about the fight thing and all that. It'd be fun.
It would be fun. You guys are just two of a kind. You guys really are two of a kind.
Yeah, man. He's a legend, dude.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate it, Ray. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast.
Hey, man, thank you. Hey, man, this has been real cool. I love talking to you, man. It's all good.
All right, man. Thank you, Ray.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching the Zapata Brand podcast. Please subscribe to the podcast and listen where all podcasts are available.